one is Mr. Kumuto Tamata. Kumuto is a stock investor and he is a co-founder and managing director of Scholar Academy. He started investing 6 years ago and quickly fell in love with it. He even wrote a book about it called Fundamentals of Stock Investing, which helped guide new investors on how to invest in their stock market. He will be teaching about investments in stock. He's been serving under the Visionary Corner and Mashele Foundation. You can hear that, Mr. Mashele again. So ladies and gentlemen, the following will be introduced by Mr. Mashele himself.
Okay, guys, can someone please tell the people outside to get in? Let's have order, man. If umuntu ufunda ngaphandle kampana yokubo, man, they're here to work, guys. Because now they're creating distraction outside. Okay, so the person I want to introduce now is someone special. So one of the things that we do is youth empowerment tour. So we tour around schools, teaching kids about financial literacy. We also have a market day competition in Anandi. So this person whom I met them at Vuani Secondary School. And the funny part is Vuani Secondary School is the school where my mother attended school there. And I never went to school in Vuani in Anandi. So we're doing a tour in 2022, No, 2023 we're doing a tour. So when we're doing a tour, we spoke about entrepreneurship. So the person who I'm going to introduce wanted to speak to me, but they couldn't speak to me on that day. But you know how now divine things work. So we're tutoring at one temporary. It happened when I was going to tutor, I bumped into him. First he asked for my numbers. I gave him his numbers. Guess what happened? One number was wrong. No concern. Second time I went again to one, he was still persistent. He asked for my numbers, he got them. That's where the relationship started now. We've been working together now. Even that guy was introducing. That's one of the people I work with. Some of the people I spend most of my time with because they are young people and they are much wiser. Now as much as I'm a young person, they are younger to me. 5, 6 years younger than me. I spend most of my time with them because why? They are open-minded. Because some of our age groups are thinking of alcohol and nani. Now you come with nonsense, I cut you off fast, guys. I don't have time for games, we are moving. So the next person I want to introduce in blue, I love this story, says, when I was in grade 10, I was curious regarding investments. Therefore, I began reading books such as Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Then in grade 11, that's where my entrepreneurial journey began by selling sweets at school. I would save a certain portion from my profit to invest in stocks because I had a vision to fund my dreams. I used the stock market to invest a certain portion of my profits from selling sweets instead of saving. They will tell you why I chose stock investment over saving. Since 2022, I've been investing in the stock market and I've grown from investing in the stock market to assisting individuals manage their account. One of the people is helping to manage the account. It is Big Brother. They couldn't join us today. And he's also helping the lady sitting there, helping us in the reception when it comes to investing. So you see the power of the second, guys. You see the power. We need to behave like Jews, Indians, Chinese. That's how they behave. They have seconds within themselves. Then he's also a co-founder of a company called Supreme Fries, which is the one selling fries. He also has a company that he funded on his birthday called Masfier. Right? I was blessed to give Nama shares in that company. So you see, when you serve people, even grace follows you and provision. Yeah, so guys, can you please welcome our panelists on stage? Thank you. So I think maybe we should, you guys need chairs. Yeah, can someone bring those 2 of those chairs? Maybe we can put them here. Yeah, maybe. Where do you want to sit here or there? Yeah, they will sit here. Okay, there's one. Then after here is going to be break, and I'll give further announcements after here.
One more time for the panel discussion.
network, man. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kumbuzo Ramadaba. I'm here with Du, his nickname. He'll introduce himself, guys. So, yes, as it's mentioned on my bio, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a stock investor. I invest in stocks. Most people don't know that because I'm someone who is quite antisocial. I don't like people in my space most of the time. But then, guys, I appreciate you being here. It's a wonderful day. We've been doing this for the past 5 years. I only missed one seminar due to health problems, but I'm glad to be here, guys. And honestly speaking, it's a blessing, and it's something which we take for granted. But the role it plays in the society is very significant because so far we have, I think, we have testimony. So far we have many people who were here on the seminar and they're now business personnel. So they have a lot of businesses and stuff. An example is Du here, who I am with. So me and Du, I started investing in stocks. So the story is, my sister came home, I remember 2020, when she came home. You know, guys, there's this misconception of stocks and forex. Yeah, those are not the same things. Those two things are very different. They're not the same. You understand? There's a certain way of doing things in terms of investing in the stock market and doing forex. Those things are not the same. So when she came home, she was like, there's this new thing called easy equities. Have you ever heard of it? I was like, what's that? I don't know. So when she came home, I was doing forex, coincidentally. So, and you know, if you've done forex, you will understand the market. I was very ambitious. For me, I didn't understand the concept of obeying or being under certain rules in a work environment. I wanted something which I can also be flexible, be able to dictate my own terms. You understand? So in a workforce, they give you policies and there's rules, right? So there's certain things you cannot do. So I was very disturbed by that feeling that, this is my life. I'm gonna work for the next, let's say, 30 years, 40 years, obeying certain rules. I don't want to be dictated on my life. So started forex. I was like, these things, it's chowing me. You blow your accounts, you find again, you blow. I'm like, I may not be stake. My sister came home. She's like, have you ever heard of easy equities? I was like, what's that? You understand? And then at first I was treating it as if it's forex, because forex mentality, right? And then I was like, no, man. Then I started with 50 rands, I remember. And then I bought, I don't remember the exact stock I bought, but then I tried to spread my 50 rand around. And then there was this, I think it was sort of like Bitcoin. What's this? Crypto, yes. And then it boomed from 50 rand to 250. I was like, hey, what's going on here, guys? There's something special here. And then that's when I started to pay a lot of attention to detail to what I was doing. And then I heard of where, unfortunately, I was on my 20s, early 20s, right? Late teens, early 20s. I was like, what's this? Who's this Warren Buffett? I've never heard of him. You understand? You do something, you don't really go into detail, you don't do your research. And then I started doing my research. Who is this Warren Buffett? And then YouTube videos and so forth. To cut the long story short, I started following those people, and then that's when I started to understand what is the stock market, right, guys? So I started investing. At first, I was investing like a forex trade. I look at the charts. This one is going down. I am buying here. You understand? So guys, and then that's when I understood what the stock market is, guys. So as we have people who have businesses, entrepreneurs in this very own room, right? There are certain companies that you can invest in. So when a company goes public, so a company can go public for to achieve certain goals, right? For instance, let's say we are at Land Lifestyle, right? The company wants to expand. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can explain. The company is trying to expand, right? So one thing they would identify is, okay guys, we don't have the necessary funds for us to do those expansions, right? Remember, in order for you to expand, you need to have certain capital, right? You can't expand when you only have 3 customers. Does it make sense? No. It means the demand is getting higher, so there's need to what? For expansion, right? That's when companies will go public, IPO, right? Initial public offering, whereby they release their stocks to individual or private investors. Do you understand? So basically, when you buy stocks, you acquire stocks, you are acquiring a portion of ownership of that exact company. Do you understand? So does it make sense for you to go and invest on a company based on charts? No, charts do lie. Do you understand? Because for an instance, there are certain people who will sell their shares for certain reasons, right? We all have our reasons. As much as we invest to achieve certain goals, we also have to sell those. Let's say I buy my shares, I want to do something with it later on. Later on, I'll have to sell my shares, right? So when I sell, there will be a slight change in the price of this. I think you will testify that, right? So guys, when I sell, the price will go down, right? When it goes down, that's when most people will view the share as it's a great opening. Although it's very misleading to look at the charts. Because, for an example, do you think a company like ShopRite is a company which is bound for failure in the long term? No, because there will always be demand for their products, you understand? But then there are certain companies which come seasonally. For an example, it's war right now, right? So it doesn't make sense, it doesn't have logic for you to invest in a company like that for the long term. You understand? Because wars will not always be there. Do you get my point? Yes. I'd like to hand over to you as this. I told him that no, this year can we do something different, because we met 2023 at a seminar. That's when I released my book, that the one that I've written. Unfortunately, I don't have a copy here, but then if anyone needs a copy or anything like that, you can contact Binigo. Okay. Thank you very much, guys.
Okay, so me, like on my side, I will go straight to the point, like how can you analyze the company before you invest your money? So as our last speaker, he said it's very important to check our finance, because numbers are So me, like on my side, the first mistake which is I made in grade 11, like I knew about the stock market and then Menzotatima and then just invest VPP and all that Namanyama company. But at some point I realized that yes, I'm making a big mistake, because my portfolio at some point years are like I couldn't understand, So the first thing that I did, I started to check my financial performance. So I don't know much in terms of my number, because in school I didn't do accounting and all that. So I have a friend, so she's the one who helps me most of the time to analyze my company in terms of finance balance sheet to check ukuthi okay this company assets wabo they are worth this much, and then also to check my financial statement. So she helped me with that, and at the same time I will be learning from her, and then she showed me like, okay, do this and you check this and check that. Okay, so because even as a supreme price, I get knowledge about how do you balance our books. So like the Nico, he shows me most of the time, which I can do. When I'm at gross, so gross is before deduction. I'm an expense and all that. So like first we minus I'm an expense, you know. So from supreme price, I take that knowledge. Also, I'm going to do the same thing with my stock companies because it's the same thing. It's the same thing, you know. The way like a small business here in my corner is like yeah, my number, each and I'm a sales, and my expenses is the same thing as my big company. You know? So that's what I do first, and then nizaguma debt, you know, debt. So I check what is a good debt or a bad debt, you know, because gunama operational expenses, you know. So like one of my operational expenses. So like when I check the debt, I check with a company like in terms of we sort of like SARS and all that. So that's what I check, and then Kuri, so she helped me with that also. And then I'll jump to the next one, which is expansion plans or like a company. So main figure to that, I check future goals of the company. Which okay, does this company in goals in a long run, if like I buy these shares, meaning if they expand like to other countries or in the market, will like my share price increase or decrease? So like that's what I check also, you know. So I think Kumbuzo will also add to this.
Okay. Yes, everything. Yes, everything is mentioned is mandatory if you are an investor. You understand? Because some things they just basics, guys. Those are fundamentals, guys. You cannot like for me, stock market is basically not just virtual. It's life thing. Because if there's a company that I'm willing to invest, like let's say for an example, I want to put my money in this place, right? I have to look at their financial statements. Does it make sense for me to take out my money and invest in the company? Do you understand? I have to look at how things are being operated. Does it resonate with what I believe in? Do you understand? So people think like, oh no, because it's virtual, it's difficult. It's not difficult. You analyze the company. Does it make sense to you? Does the debt make sense to you? I gonna have profits in this company. Those are the things you look at. For example, let's say I want to invest in Apple. Guys, you like Apple. You like Apple products, right? So you know that the share price is gonna be expensive. Do you understand? So you might look at, okay, in the next 10 years, if Apple is working on certain projects that make sense, it means I have to jump ship and join this place. I have to join this ship, right, before it sails away, because the price is gonna increase. Do you understand? For example, I have a very, very simple example. During lockdown, did you see what the stock of? Do you know Netflix stock grew to about 500%? Why? Because it was lockdown. People cannot go to theaters, all those kind of things, right? So you bring the theater into your home. Do you understand? So it's things that can relate to your life. Those things, they relate to life, what's happening around the world. It's not something which is technical or anything like that. You understand? So if you, okay, now it's lockdown, it means I'm gonna stay at home, right? So Netflix, obviously, people are gonna subscribe to Netflix, right? What do I do as an investor? I'm going to invest my money in what? In Netflix, because I know that the share price is gonna increase. So I'm gonna make profit out of that company. Does it make sense? It's as simple as that. Obviously, things that those are fundamentals of investment, right? There's technical side of it. When do I enter the market? That's what needs to make sense. Do you understand? There's something called intrinsic value of a stock. Ne? So sometimes a stock, if you go to easy equities, you find that there's something called last bidding price. So it was an exchange between an investor and someone wants to go out of the market. Do you understand? So that price doesn't necessarily show the real price of the stock. Do you understand? So most times there's this thing that Warren Buffett says: be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are what? Are greedy. Do you understand? If a stock is a Netflix stock, it was, okay, let me just make a simple example. ShopRite, ShopRite, because everyone is familiar with it, right? If it was trading at 15 rands per share, and then it goes up to 25 rands, does it make sense for me to buy the stock at 25 rands? No, it doesn't, right? I know there's certain fundamentals that are going to happen. The stock may drop, let's say to 18 rands. That's why I'm most comfortable at buying the stock, because I know I'm buying the stock at its truest value. Sometimes the value can be underappreciated because of certain things like these wars. There's wars going on right now, right? So most investors would want to take out their money, and then it drops, let's say, to 10 rands. Then I'm gonna buy in bulk because I know it may go up to 25 rands. How much profit did I make? I made 15 rand profit on the share. Do you understand? So those are things which technically make sense to me. And then that's the only time I look at a chart in order to buy a stock, not to just buy it because it's down. Do you understand? Because some stocks are down because there's no value in them. Do you understand? You need to understand those things that we do mention. They are very important. Financial statements, debt. You find that the company invested in things which don't make sense. They are debt. So you know that this one, no money, I'm not going to get my money if I invest in this company. You understand? Okay. I'd like to hand over to Do again to add on my points there.
Okay, so we have 2 minutes. So I would like to add also the management team. So before you invest, please check the management team, like in terms of experience, track record, Yeah, so don't just invest in game. And then another one is innovation. So you need to check with, okay, this company, like, if they again the winning one, or they are willing to innovate with time. For example, just check BlackBerry. So like if you invested your money in BlackBerry, like for now we count it as a loss because of what? BlackBerry, it's no longer exists, So like you need to check those kind of things. And another one which is I would love to give people this strategy. So like this strategy is the one that I use. Please invest in companies that pay dividends. Reason being one, I realized this in grade 11 again. Like I didn't have enough money, but I wanted to grow my portfolio. So by investing in companies that pay dividends, the authority, you don't have enough money, but you want to buy these other shares from these other companies. So, because ShopRite is dividend, you can use that dividend to buy these shares from other companies, and then that's how your portfolio grows, and then you make a good profit, So, yeah, I think Kumuzo can help in.
Yeah, guys, there's not much time, but Yes, dividends, you take the money, the profit you make, you reinvest in other companies. You don't have to fork out your money every time, you understand? So, EasyQuick is making it easy for us. You can do that research. He's just humbled this guy. He's grown his portfolio to in about 70%, right? Yeah, 80%. So, yeah, if you can make, you know the math, right? If you invested 100K, 80%, even if you invested 1,000, 80%, that's 8,000 profit from, you understand? So, from just investing in real life companies which make sense, guys. So, if you need more info, you can contact us. We'll be around here. You're allowed to do that because there's a lot of information still to be shared. But then we appreciate the platform and gracefully, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you, guys.
Okay, guys, there's a change of plans because there's a birthday celebration that is happening and there's a society now. So what we're gonna do, we've been given up until 2. So what we're gonna do, man, you're gonna dive directly into the last part where it says panels. You see the first one that says technical panelists and highs and lows of entrepreneurship. We're gonna have the last 2 panels. Then after that, we're gonna go for lunch. We're gonna network. You also cut the cake and celebrate. So we'll just finish the entire program. That network, have lunch, Sazan. Don't just go, guys, without at least getting 2 contacts. You don't have to take everyone's contact. Just get 2 people. Then yeah, let's have a celebration. So now I'm gonna hand over to the MC. Who will introduce the panelists today. So we're going to the first one. Then is the second one. Then we are done for the day.
But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. We changed people. We did me pretty fast.
You are not going to pay.